The next step is to actually add the juice to the bucket to start the preparation of the must. The must is what we refer to the wine before we add the yeast. As soon as we add the yeast, even though fermentation hasn't started, legally and technically that's when your must becomes wine. I use a bag decapper to remove this plastic cap. They're kind of stubborn, so this bag decapper slides over the top and allows you to open the bag of juice with minimal effort. Now I'm going to take the bag and I'm going to pour it into the bucket. It's important to pour slowly because it will splash. It's also probably a good idea to not do this step on white carpet. And it's okay to splash and get air into the juice. It's actually very good for the wine because the yeast will need the oxygen to multiply. And we're going to try to get all the juice we can from the bag. It's a good time to point out that the bags the manufacturers use are a 2-ply plastic bag. Occasionally you will get seepage between the layers, and you'll see that looks like there's still some juice left in the bag. Actually, it's trapped between the layers. That's not a problem. Also, you may receive a wine kit that is leaking slightly. If it's only leaking just a little bit, it's because the juice got between the layers and then leaked out of the seam. As long as there's no visible signs of mold inside the juice bag, the kit is still fine to use. If you have any questions though, please give us a call. We'll give you directions to decide whether to replace the kit or not. Now we're going to fill this bag with about 1 liter of warm water to rinse it out to make sure we get all the juice from the bag. If you're using a Mosti Mondiale all juice product, you do not add water at this time. Just try to get as much of the juice out of the bag as you can, and then you can discard the bag. It's important at this point that you want to stir well so that we'll get a good reading for our hydrometer. And the important thing about getting an accurate reading with the hydrometer is that it tells you, one, that your kit is good to proceed. If you do get a real low reading, there probably is something wrong with the wine kit, but it also will tell you what your potential alcohol content is. All right. Now over to my right, I have this bucket, and normally I wouldn't put this spoon in there because it's going to mess up my sanitizer that you can reuse. But this bucket is full of sanitizer, and I have my hydrometer and my thermometer in that so I can use it when I want to. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the temperature of the must, and I'm going to take the thermometer and I'm going to put it in the must. And it normally takes about 30 seconds or so to get a good reading of the temperature, at least close enough. And ideally you want to be in the 70 to 76 degree range. Acceptable ranges are 65 to 80, but all manufacturers will suggest that a warmer temperature is better than a colder temperature. So now if I look at the reading here, we are at 75 degrees. Perfect. I should also point out that most of the wines we make here in the store, the average store temperature is between 75 to 78 degrees. Now I'm going to take the hydrometer and I'm also going to put it in the must, and it floats. And what the hydrometer is doing is it's measuring the specific gravity or weight of the water. The sugar increases the weight of the water and causes the hydrometer to float higher. As the sugar is converted into alcohol, which weighs less than water, The hydrometer will slowly start sinking into the wine at that point until you reach a final specific gravity of around 0.996. So I'm going to look at this, and we're at 1090, which is an excellent reading. And if I turn the hydrometer, it says that our alcohol content on this wine should be a little over 12%.